Hello, I am here to talk about the difference between a manifestation practice that works sometimes and a manifestation practice that you can rely on, that is consistent, that works all the time. And to really illustrate this difference for you, I'm going to tell a little bit of my story. So when I first started manifestation, it actually worked for me pretty quickly. Like I was able to get the hang of it and to start to see. I was really focused on manifesting in two areas, academics and finances, just because of the season I was in my life. And I really started to see it working in both areas. I started to, at the time I was manifesting school acceptances, and I started to see the acceptances that I wanted to see for schooling, and to see the kinds of financial aid packages that I wanted. And then I also was starting to manifest money and to start to see money showing up in my life unexpectedly. But really, when I say unexpectedly, I say that with a grain of salt because I was expecting it, because I was manifesting it. But the point being, I got the hang of manifestation pretty quickly. And then what happened was I started to notice that it was working some of the time, but not all of the time. And that was incredibly frustrating to me. So you may have heard me speak on other episodes about how sometimes manifestation can feel easier in one area than it does in another. And I really want to give you the opportunity to just reflect on this for a minute in your own life. Is there an area of your life where manifestation feels super easy versus an area where it feels more challenging? Are there some manifestations that have just felt like, a no-brainer, super straightforward, and others that have felt really hard? And the reason why I'm asking you this is because this is the situation that I found myself in like 2020, I would say, when I was really focusing on manifesting clients for my business and I was really struggling. And it felt like I could manifest money outside my business, but I was having trouble manifesting money within my business. And it was just the most excruciating, most frustrating thing in the world, because it wasn't that I didn't know how to manifest. It wasn't that I didn't know what manifestation was or how it worked. Obviously, I was doing something right, but I was just not able to get it to translate into my business. And so I really went off the deep end with manifestation. I read all the books, I listened to podcasts, YouTube channels, I got coaching, I hired one-on-one coaches, I joined group coaching programs, I took courses, and I did every single thing in those courses. And I really just was like, I will figure this out. I looked at manifestation from the lens of spirituality, emotions, psychology, behavior, all different lenses. And I was like, I will know how to manifest anything by the time I am through this deep dive. And so what ended up happening was that I did really figure out how to manifest anything. And that's why my free class that I have coming up on Wednesday is called Manifest Anything in 7 Steps, because it really is the process to manifest whatever you want. It's not about, manifestation that works for some things but not for other things. It's really about a manifestation process that works no matter what the goal is and no matter how hard it feels right now, because I was in the thick of it. I was in situations that felt impossible. And especially with business, it can be so easy to just talk yourself out of it and be like, oh, well, it's really hard, or most businesses don't succeed. And so there was my experience, which was hard, but then there was also the world telling me it's hard and you can't do it and X, Y, and Z. And I got to the point where I realized I have to let go of all of the stories about how hard this is, and I have to be willing to figure it out. Even if it is hard, I'm still going to figure it out. And when I got to the place of, even if it is hard, I'm still going to figure it out, that's when I really started to not just have all this conceptual knowledge and information about manifestation, but I started to really apply it to my business. And I'm using my business as an example, but you'll hear me talk about some other things that I've used this process to manifest too, because I think it's really cool. But the journey, the real underpinning for this process was my business. I wanted my business to grow, and it wasn't growing. And again, it felt like there were so many opportunities to give up. There were so many opportunities to just tell myself, oh yeah, most people can't do this. I probably can't do this either. But I had to let go of all of that, and I had to just lock in and be willing to figure out how to manifest the clients and the revenue that I wanted. And so I really just solved for every reason why it felt hard. everything that my brain was telling me for why it's not possible, or, of course it's not working because X, Y, and Z, like all of that resistance, I just solved for every single piece of it. And that became my 7-step manifestation process. So it really was about taking my own challenges that I was facing and turning them into steps. And so in the first email that I sent out about this class, I literally said this 7-step process accounts for every reason why manifestation is hard. And that has been true for me. There was an issue that I was experiencing, you've heard me talk about this before, where you set a goal that just feels so far away, and then you get pretty much paralyzed. You get stuck. You can't move towards it because you can't even wrap your mind around it. And so then I created a step in my 7-step manifestation process about having a milestone. So it's not just that you have your big goal, but you also have a milestone that creates a bridge from where you are to where you want to go. So that's just one example, but I was really just starting to understand why manifestation had been so hard for me, especially in my business. And then with every problem, I created the solution, and the solution became a step in my process. So after I really solved all of the problems that I was facing in my manifestation journey, I created a manifestation practice that works every time. And when I say it works every time, what I really mean is that no matter what goal I put into this process, I can achieve that goal. It's not like it only works, like I said, for money outside the business, but it doesn't work within the business. It's not like it only works for money, but it doesn't work for health or for love. It works for literally anything. And I really got to that place by solving for the thing that was the hardest for me, which was manifesting clients and manifesting revenue into my business. So if you want to come learn this 7-step process, I want you to really think about the thing that has been hardest for you to manifest, and come with the intention that something I'm going to share with you on Wednesday will solve that for you. It will help you actually manifest the thing that has felt the most sticky and the most challenging, because I really have accounted for all of the problems. And the beautiful thing about this class is that it's interactive. So I'm going to share with you my 7 steps, and I'm going to share with you the different problems that each step overcomes. But then if you have a different problem and you're like, oh, Samara, this is actually what I'm dealing with, then I can help you right there. I can really be there for you and help you troubleshoot and overcome whatever manifestation challenge that you specifically are facing, in case you are facing something that I have not already accounted for within my 7-step process. But I will say the 7-step process is pretty solid. I, like I said, have used it in all areas of my life. So I've used it to manifest fitness goals. You've heard me talk about losing 25 pounds, and I did it in a way that was very healthy and in a way that really kept me falling deeper and deeper in love with my body. And a lot of people believe that in order to lose weight, you have to dislike your body and treat your body poorly. But I was able to do it by treating my body well and by actually increasing my level of self-love and self-care. So you've heard me talk about that before on the podcast. I was able to reopen my heart and manifest a partner after going through a really traumatic breakup that made it really hard for me to see myself in a relationship again. So manifesting in my romantic life, I have used this process to heal my relationship with my family, even though I was no contact with them for years. So there have been so many different areas in my business and outside of my business where I have really created a transformation using this process. And then I've also taught this process to my clients, and my clients have gone out and used this process to create beautiful things in their lives. And some of the client manifestations have been finding new homes, have been finding new jobs, manifesting high ticket clients in their businesses, hitting their income goals, excuse me, really just anything that you can think of. Either I have manifested it, my clients have manifested it, or maybe you will be the one to manifest it, but you've got to learn this process so that you can actually have the steps in place, not just to know, okay, set your intention, surrender and receive, which is basically what the mainstream manifestation is teaching, but the real depth of what to do when it gets hard and how to solve and account for all of the issues and challenges that arise. That is what makes the difference between a manifestation practice that works sometimes and a manifestation practice that works all the time. So with all of that being said, I would love to see you in my free class on Wednesday, May 20th. It is called Manifest Anything in 7 Steps. You can join me at the link down below if you are listening on the podcast or if you are watching on YouTube. And you can also join me at the link in my bio if you are watching this on Instagram. Okay, I love you so much and I cannot wait to see you there. Mwah. Take care.